Marlies Cocheret. Thank you.
Is there a feminine phase of the intimate, of the infinite? That's what it is. The answer already. Yeah? Freudian slip. I just want to first tell a little bit about myself, and that kind of will flow into what I hopefully will talk about. My teacher, Adyashanti, asked me to teach about 13 or 14 years ago. And what came then was to offer satsang to women only, and I thought that was kind of interesting because who we are is male nor female. And I talked then with him about it, and he said, just trust it. Huh? So I started teaching for women, and then at some point also just for men and women. And what I found then quite soon is that there was a lot of talk about, of course, who am I and I'm that. And that's a very important realization. I am that. I am that love. I am the emptiness, or whatever word you want to give to it. But I felt often how half of the story was forgotten. Because it's wonderful to know I am this emptiness, or I am empty. It's even, I think, more wonderful to know I am also all the fullness, all of life. It's everything. It's kind of nothing and everything. So I remember when I started teaching, I included the body and very much feeling, emotion, everything that came up. So I got a lot of commentary on that, like, well, that's not the real thing. That's not it. And so of course, I ponder on that. And still I find, and I'm really happy to notice, coming to the sand over and over, that more and more speakers are also including all of life, their humanity. And truly, where the rubber hits the road, so to speak, is when we also really, truly step into our humanity, so that our divinity and our humanity really come together as one, and it's really experienced here. Because here is where it happens, or it is, even though it's everything. And so then I started noticing over the years that being in female form myself, that there were not many female teachers. And before I really go into it, I am very, very well aware that who we are is male nor female, has nothing to do with that. And still, in life, mostly seems to be our male teachers. And I itself, wonderful male teachers, and so I don't have anything against it. I just feel something was missing. It's like, hey, where are the females? Also in all the, when people are, quoted, also during this conference, only male quotations are used. I heard one time a female quotation. So again, I have the question, how interesting. No, there are females and males here. What we are is empty or full, or what is that about? What is that? How did that happen? And so that's kind of in the background for me, with the question, is there a feminine phase of the infinite? And so that's the question I want to hold here. And before I start speaking a little bit more about it, I want to do something very short, experiential exercise. So I want to invite you to find a partner, if you're willing. Just a partner, somebody sitting next to you or behind you, or just find someone. It's just a fun exercise. So sit really close so you can hear each other when you speak things. There's here somebody that still looks for a partner. Oh. Otherwise, just join two of them. Okay. So, oh, there's one person here. Here's your partner. So, agree who is number one and who's number two. Yeah? So, then I invite you both, take a moment to close your eyes. And in the first 3 minutes, only the number ones will speak, and the number twos will only listen and receive. They're not respond and say, oh yes, I have that too, or no, or whatever. Just be quiet. So number one, speak, number two, listen. And when the number twos are listening, they ask the question to number one, please tell me, where is the feminine? Just to ask that question to kind of opening your mind. So number twos, ask the number ones, please tell me where's the feminine? And number one, just whatever bubbles up, just speak it. And then when there is a quiet time for a moment, then the number twos only say again the question, please tell me, where's the feminine? And we will do that 3 minutes, and then after that we will change. So I will clock it. So yeah, please, you can start so the number twos can ask the number ones. Please tell me, where is the feminine? And then come to closure. Just then be quiet for a moment. And just, both of you, just take a moment what it was to speak about this and what was it like to receive the answer. And just whatever is here, receive that. And then we're going to change. So now the number ones will ask the number twos, please tell me, where is the feminine? And whatever bubbles up in your experience, just speak that. You cannot do it wrong. It's your experience. So please go ahead. Please tell me, where is the feminine? And then come to a closure with that too. Take a moment to thank your partner. Okay. So I'm curious to hear just from a few of you, what was it like? What did you find out with that question? Anything new, anything surprising, anything familiar? What bubbled up? You want to say?
What surprised me is that what came up was that it also depended on the authenticity or the purity, naturalness of the male side. Like, if this more male side was pure, then there was a natural space, presence arising out of it for the feminine side. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so connected.
Yeah, connected. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? What? Yeah.
For me, it was being with your partner, even that you are listening or you are speaking, but be with him. Don't just be in your head or what you are doing with your thoughts. So
It's in a way connecting also, huh? Yeah. And there was here someone.
Yeah, we found a very funny thing. It was everywhere.
Uh-huh.
It was really nice, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We just the question was just an invitation to look
Yeah.
and be still, and we found it everywhere.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Anybody else wants to share?
Thank you for letting us do that exercise. It was really great. But what we found was that the feminine is very receptive, right? She doesn't try to hold on to anything. You know, she just lets it pass through. Life passes through. And yeah, that was really special.
Yeah, something got touched, huh? Yeah. Anybody else?
I
Yeah.
might say.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I was going to be on stage, do this show, and I was going to do it as a woman. So I had to do the dance and everything. So like a month or two before this, I had to learn how to walk on the heels and that. So I actually walked around dressed as a woman at home, doing the dishes, doing everything, just so I could learn to walk.
Yeah.
And I noticed after a while when I got into it, I forgot being a man. I became a woman, so to speak. But it was in my physical part changed. My whole movement, my whole language. But inside I was, I guess, either. But the rest of me just changed physically, and also I felt more caring, that I felt more softer in my approach somehow.
Yeah. Softer and caring. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. So I really wanted to do an exercise. So it was from your experience, and first of all, and it's also something you can keep on exploring, because it's an exploration. Actually, that's in my experience. It's an exploration. And because in my experience, the feminine is also can very much relate actually to what everybody says. And but especially I spoke about that also during the panel, is this, I was walking outside and just for the millionth time asking myself, well, what is the feminine? You know, what is this? What is this? And it was really first thing that came up is like, you know, Mother Earth, you know, giving birth to trees, birds, everything. And then just staying with that, really just using the body as an entrance to really go in and in and in and in, to find also this body is the feminine, this life is the feminine, everything that flows through this is the feminine, blood, the heartbeat, any flow. And then even deeper than that is the heart, the presence of this being, or the prajna, as it comes from one tradition, is called the feminine, or Sophia from other traditions. It's all, then it comes kind of to the wisdom, the true wisdom that's behind the presence of all. And it has been for me a really wonderful exploration, because feminine is very much related to female, even though feminine, the energy or that experience or whatever you want to call it, is in a male body as much as it is in a female body, even though the tendency is more that women feel connected to it than men tend to be connected to it. They're more connected to the masculine. So it's both energies. They do exist. For me also, so in this background of what I would call now the feminine, of her, of the great goddess, whatever word you can give it, so I call it the great goddess here in this moment, is this pure being, this pure knowing, this pure unknowing, and from that unknowing, the wisdom, the knowing comes forth. And in that, for me, is also very much included is the body. And that has been, for me, in my experience, one of the main parts on the path, so to speak, because I could know what in my experience is quite masculine, this space, I am this space, what's really beautiful, I am this, I wake up out of this body into I am that love, I am space, I am emptiness, and then kind of like, oops, I have also a body, and then how do I bring this love in the body or live as that? And to me that has been the most interesting part of living this love or living the feminine, so to speak. Because that in that process, it was a process of fully, absolutely, totally receiving everything, the flesh, how this moves, how this talks, what this wants, what this needs. And not to immediately put that aside like, that's not supposed to be here, I'm that, and, I don't care about it. No, it's just to really kind of kiss all of life. It's like, for me, the feminine is the big kiss of really kissing myself, and through that, everybody else. But really, really, truly, fully be touched by what rises here. And the moment I allow myself to be touched, so what that looks like is, in my experience, when there's a pain in my body, instead of thinking like, how can I get rid of that because it's uncomfortable, I don't want this pain, it's like, what would it be like to really be touched by this pain, to really be kissed by this pain, to really, really, for one time, fully receive this. And what I noticed is the moment I go in there and really be touched by this experience of pain or discomfort, naturally this tends to be this contraction kind of opens. And naturally this love enters, because finally pain can be pain. Discomfort can be discomfort. It's not kind of like, oh shit, I don't want it, I want to throw it out. It's like, no, it's my beloved, My beloved is not only in the formless, my beloved is also in the form. And when I can take this discomfort as my beloved and fully receive it in my heart or in my consciousness, then everything relaxes and relaxes into her, into this love. And it sounds quite simple as I speak it. It is that simple. But because we're so used to fighting with what is, with the discomfort or with something that we don't want, it just gets more contracted and more uncomfortable, and separation happens. So for me also the feminine is, instead of mostly being here, it's also really being in the body, embodying her, embodying this love that we are in here, in the flesh. And it can be messy sometimes, but the more we dare to go into our own mess, so to speak, the more naturally an ease comes here. And from that ease, movement comes. Life starts moving within and without. And then it's like form and formless come together. It's not anymore like, okay, I'm just only hanging out in space. It's also like, oh, I'm also this body, and this body is fully received in the space of her love. And then this form and formlessness, they come together as one. They start to move as one. It's not just something then what you only read about or you hear about, that all is one, but actually it comes from your own bones, from your own flesh, that this form, this seemingly dense thing, when it's felt into or received, as somebody mentioned also feminine, receiving, when it's fully received, then there comes naturally relaxation, and then the underlying fullness of life is being revealed. And that starts living as you. Not the contraction anymore, but the openness. So it takes an utter willingness to fully receive all of life, good, bad, wonderfulness, challenges, beauty, everything. And when that's being received, then naturally the one movement, the enlightened movement really of life can happen. I think that's probably all I can say, because the time is short. So this is, I think, what I want to say for now. So I was just wondering if there are any questions or anything anybody wants to share. Yeah.
Some minutes ago, when we did the exercise, I didn't have the guts to raise my hand.
Yeah.
We only started the exercise with woman when it was almost done. So she asked me to look for the feminine, and I said it's a bit suppressed outside and inside. And at that moment, I came to realize that this is hard to cut this short, but I'm in therapy because I need to be more efficient in my life, and I have to find my struggles. And a few weeks ago, we discovered that my feminine side is the one that I have to work on to get structure in my life and regularity. So the woman beside me said, it's the fear. And I thought, well, yeah, I know about that. I'm a filmmaker. I made the film Freedom, and fear is a part of that film. So it was a very masculine reaction to what she said. And then she said, it's the fear to be open to others and to connect with others. And then she hit me. I'm somebody who thinks I don't have really fear, but I do have fear to talk with people and to come out of my... and then I realized that this is my feminine side too. So I would like to thank you for this insight.
You're welcome. Well, thank yourself also. It's the feminine coming to you. Wisdom here. Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
What I'd like to add also to what you said and to what I felt in the exercise is that for me the feminine is a lot about communication beyond words. Mm-hmm. That openness that he spoke about, I think there is always a communication happening that is not on the level where we use words, and that receives everything. So
it's a mystery, yeah? Yeah. But something got touched there, huh? Yeah. Right now also, huh? So this unspeakable, what for some reason we're a whole conference talking about, we need to say something. The more you can rest as this and let this live your life as this. That's the invitation. Because you can taste it, right?
Exactly.
And you live as that taste. And first that takes the connection with that taste and to see how that wants to unfold. Comes a whole ease over you, huh? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else that wants to? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to share something. Maybe it's already been said, but I didn't hear it maybe. But
Yeah.
there's when the identification stops, it's also through the body. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not when it's possible when the identification stops that you experience the nothingness, but it's also through the body. That when the identification stops, the separation stops through the body. Mm-hmm. And I found that a very powerful part of the awakening. Mm-hmm. When in the world of form, although it's not the whole picture, mm-hmm. there's also seen that there's no separation mm-hmm. through the body mm-hmm. and through the well, you know what I mean. But yeah. So that was not mentioned very much, and for me, the body was really a door, mm-hmm. and not that the body is gone after the door. Yeah? No. But it's seen that it is a part of this whole dance, yeah. Yes. And of course, then the other stuff with the nothingness and everything comes to it too. Yeah. But for me, that was really a door.
Yeah, yeah. It's very important what you're saying, because mostly what's spoken of here tends to be one kind of awakening. It's mostly talked about awakening of mind. There are many kinds of awakening.
Absolutely.
And then it's seeing if, after one of those so-called awakening experiences, it's seeing if the identity actually has shifted. Because some people need 10 billion awakening experiences and nothing really changes. So yes, so it can be awakening through mind, awakening through body, many different kinds. Yeah, so thank you. And it's actually very, very beautiful also to speak about how the body is a portal. You know, these bodies are given to us this time around. So it's wonderful to receive them and use them as that portal to come to love here. Yeah. Anybody else?
Can I say, we usually say the feminine, at least I've seen it as more curvy, more soft, more mm-hmm. like analog, mm-hmm. where the man is more straight and more digital.
Yeah.
And during this conference, we've seen when we're talking about the quantum physical side, when you go down, and it's either a wave or it's a particle, and it changes. Yeah. Could the wave be like the feminine and the particle be the masculine?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So maybe it decides all the way down there.
I guess so, huh? It's just kind of like it comes really all out of the nothing, and then see how it wants to form itself. And it's all the one expression. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Anybody else? I think we also need to close. And so I hope it gave you a little bit of a taste, also just to explore in your own experience about feminine or masculine or body or different kind of awakening. To take that with you, and because that I think is also the beauty of this whole conference, and also the feminine, also the masculine. It's a forever exploration. There's not like one answer and this is it. And that's the beauty. At least that's what I think. Or that's just life itself. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.